As far as like a day in the life of a guitar tech, like let's just focus, I guess, on say Ian's setup for a typical day on this last tour. I'm always curious, genuinely behind the scenes, like what does your typical day look like? What time are you starting? What's the highlights? What's the boring parts? Like if you can walk us through or shed some light on that, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would say it's obviously going to vary based on the camp and based on, the production for the tour. But for Ian specifically, we usually start to load in around, say, like 10 a.m., something like that. We get a few hours before sound check to kind of get everything up and running. But let's say we tip the truck at 10 a.m. So the very first thing I want to get done is get the drum riser set, because that's going to help with lighting, with production, all the stage stuff that's happening. Get the drum riser up. From there, throw up drums, at least get it rough, and then I can move on to Ian's 8 basses. He would probably have 80 if we could.
I bet.
Yeah. So with his basses, I typically change strings every day, sometimes every other. Kind of depends on what's going on. I always like him to sound fresh and sound good. I love Ernie Ball specifically. He's been playing those strings for a few years now, but I love how bright they are when they're brand new. So I try to give him freshies every day. Sometimes it's every other day. But it's really getting my world set up. So I'm off of stage right, and similar to what you saw, I have the guitar vault there, or the bass vault rather. So that has 8 basses in it. Then I have a workbox for the bass. I have a workbox for the drums. And then I have Ian's rig right there with me. So he's on a Kemper right now, and I'll have that right in front of me. So if I need to change tones for anything, he doesn't bother with foot switches, any of that. So for a couple songs like I Don't Want to Know off Catalyst, we go to a cleaner bass tone. So I'm the one actually doing that change. So that's everything is right there. If anything goes wrong, I have everything kind of at my fingertips. So, I mean, from there, it's pretty straightforward. I am changing strings, getting basses ready. I'm charging up, batteries for the body packs. I'm making sure that all the frequencies are clean, and then working with, Max does front of house for us, and he helps with monitors. So, like, making sure that the channels for the ears are clean and the body packs are good to go and everybody's ears are ready. So when they walk in at, say, like 2:30, we've done a line check. We verified everything's working, everything's dialed in. They can just walk up, play some songs, and then we have some of our downtime. So that's probably like 3:30-ish or so. They tend to be done. We'll usually have a quick sound check for the meet and greets. So we have, the acoustic meet and greets, and they'll bring in fans and chit chat and play like usually 3 songs. So we'll have that time just to check those lines, make sure everything is good, get everything set up, and then we'll, cover up all of our stuff. So cover up the drums, cover up all the set pieces. We'll bring the support bands in so they can do a sound check. And then usually after that, we'll do the meet and greet, and then we'll have a few hours downtime until the show. So the really nice thing with Ian, he is very low maintenance, and Cyrus is too, honestly. They're both low maintenance. So we keep things pretty dialed, and we usually have it done within a couple hours, and then have the bulk of the day just to hang out, grab food, see friends, bullshit around, have Ian bring his friends up and give him one of every pick. I think he had 20 designs on the Catalyst tour. So, he'll usually come when he has guests, like same as when you came out. Like he will usually have guests, and he'll bring him over, and he'll open up the workbox, and he'll go to the giant bag of picks, and then he'll get one of each design, and he'll give them out. So that's been a passion of his for a very long time.
Yeah, whenever he came on the podcast, he was like, "I'll send you some pics," and I'm thinking I'm gonna get like 4 or 5. Dude, it was like a
Dude,
fucking gallon bag of Ziploc. I was
dude,
like,
I
"Oh my
have,
god!"
you know what? I should have grabbed him. I have him in the other room. I'll maybe grab him in a bit here to show you how many I have from over the years. And I don't even have every single one. Like, I'm not really a pick collector. I am because, just he got me into it. I
Yeah,
have just a ridiculous amount of newfound picks. It's like unbelievable.
and he remembers every single detail about every one. He knows how
Hmm.
many were made, like who
Hmm.
got them, when he gave them out. It's
Hmm.
crazy. It's pretty cool though. I mean, I made a couple for him on that last stretch.
Yeah.
that he used, I think. So
Yeah.
that's always fun. So it sounds like after sound check, that's when you get a little bit of a break to grab
Yeah.
some food or chill for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then what? When doors, I mean, are you good up until Newfound's getting ready to take the stage, or when
Yeah.
doors open, you're back at the saddle?
No, I'm honestly, again, like I said, it's so dialed right now that I'm good until maybe 20 minutes before set change. So, well, honestly, even 10 minutes before set change. So, like the last 10 minutes before our changeover happens, I'll just go and make sure everything's tuned up, like make sure his bases are tuned, make sure I also on this last run did a little bit of keys, like running intros and playing secondary keys on a couple songs, things like that. So, I'll make sure all that's working, but we are a well-oiled machine. So I will show up 10 minutes before changeover, do a couple things, and then just get ready to go.
When the band takes the stage, do you get nervous, or is this when you're locked in? This is go time for you. How do you feel about it?
Listen, everybody is always nervous. Yeah. For me, it's now I'm gonna tell everybody my secret. I do the I forget what they call it. The box breathing. Do you know about this?
No.
You breathe in for 5 seconds, hold it for 5 seconds, let it out for 5 seconds, and then you hold it for 5 seconds. So you go in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then keep doing that. It's just like I think it's something that the military uses to like chill out, like in the moment. I don't know. I heard it from somebody, but I'll do that. So I'll just take a second to like chill myself out, make it mellow. I mean, our shows are fun. They're high energy. They're not terribly dramatic, so it's not like I'm scared of anything. But you still like get that excitement.
Yeah.
And then things like, dude, when we were young, they were very well dialed. It was smooth, but it's still freaking crazy. Like this year, we were on the rotating stage, so while Bayside were playing, we were set up in sound checking on the other side of the stage, and then they go, "Okay, here you go," and they start to turn the stage, and you're like, "Shit, hope everything's good." So yeah, so I'll kind of have some rituals just to chill myself out so everything's mellow. Because here's the thing: if I am like, if I'm jittery and weird and like freaking out, and I definitely have had my moments in the past, but like when you're like that, like then everybody else is freaking out and it's weird. When you're just loosey goosey mellow, everybody's cool.
Yeah. But that's cool that it still feels like a bit of excitement and a rush.
Well,
Like
it's
even you've been
important.
doing it all these years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important, right? I mean, there are, it sounds maybe silly to some, but there are some people where it's like their 40th show or their 200th show, or somebody where it's their first show and you don't want it to suck. So,
Yeah.
that's important. So I don't get super in my head, but there's still kind of that, that energy of the show is about to take off. And then once you're a few songs in and everything is feeling good, then you can kind of chill out a little. But it's the first couple songs that are so high energy, you want to make sure that it kind of starts with a bang.
Is that the best part of the day for you when the show's going and you look out at the crowd and people are just having the best night ever?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet from a fulfillment aspect, man, like that's tough to beat. I talk about that a lot, man. Like just live music and seeing your favorite bands play your favorite songs live, like there's nothing like it. Synced up in a room with just the same type of folks who dig that music. It's the best.
Yeah, and it's when the crowd is really going off, that's obviously awesome. Or like when we played Stone Pony on that first leg, there's like 4,000 people there. It was outside. Everybody was going nuts. It was a great show. When We Were Young is awesome. Riot Fest is always amazing. So all shows are good, but and it's not even necessarily the size of the audience. Like that's always fun and impressive. But even the smaller shows where everybody is just going absolutely nuts, it's always fun.
Yeah. Once the show wraps, you're up on stage already starting to tear stuff down. I mean, how long does that process take? How long until you're back on the bus heading to the next city?
So our loadout is about 45 minutes from last note to truck closed.
Wow.
So yeah, we hammer through. So about 45 minutes we're tore down, everything is in the truck, and then it's where's my after show food and where are the shower towels. So it's good because in the past I've had to Well, that's where I started eating pizza in the shower, and then also eating cheeseburgers in the shower because
Oh my God.
sometimes, dude, sometimes the bus call is really soon, and you can either shower or you can eat after show food. So I think Toad's Place in Connecticut was the first place where I ate pizza in the shower. Life
Oh my
changing,
gosh.
dude. Life changing event. It was the best.
That's hilarious. I've heard beers in the shower. I've never heard pizza.
I'm straight edge, so I've never had a beer, but I actually recently did. So I think you know this. I don't know. I'm a huge Coke Zero fanatic.
Okay.
That came from Cyrus. So I'd never heard of it. And then when I first started working for them, Cyrus was always drinking Coke Zero. And now I'm hooked on the junk. But so I had a soda shower or a shower soda recently. It's pretty awesome. Now I get why shower beers. Yeah, like shower soda is pretty sick.
So after the show, you're jumping on the bus. Are you able to sleep well on the bus? Do you truly wake up in the next city ready to do the same thing again?
Yeah, because it rocks me like a baby to sleep. Totally. Yeah. Sleeping on the bus when it's not moving is really difficult. But once the bus starts moving, all of the air is going. Usually, there's like one air system going. Once the bus starts up, the second one goes, and then you start driving. And as long as the driver is smooth, like, yeah, you fall asleep in one city and wake up in the next. Totally.
That's one of the things that I had never thought about until I interviewed, I want to say Tom's tour manager, Jeff.
Yeah.
And he was just talking about how important the bus driver is. And that's something I had never thought about until I had
Dude.
this podcast.
Yeah. We have had, and not that it matters so much. I'm not going to put anybody on blast, but we've had some drivers who were like just terrible, just really bad. And then you sleep like shit. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just, and we've had some really awesome ones. And then, but yeah, no, the bus driver actually makes a really big difference.